heart doesn't stay sad. Like springtime after winter, the sun comes out again. My heart grows tall, like a plant reaching towards the sky. This is when my heart is hopeful. Eek! When I see something scary, my heart beats fast. I feel cold, as if a chilly breeze has crawled up my neck, and I run away as fast as I can. This is when my heart is afraid. When it's time for a bit of fun, my heart feels full of giggles and wiggles. Abracadabra, I hop around like a bouncy bunny. This is when my heart is silly. Sometimes I hide my heart away where no one can see, like my own small treasure. I don't want anyone to look at me. Safe on my swing, I can watch the world from up above. This is when my heart is shy. All right. My heart can feel so many feelings, and yours can too. Today, my heart is proud. How does your heart feel? The end.
Yeah, that's such a good book.
One of my favorite books for sure. Lots of feelings going on. And I think it's really important to acknowledge that this character has so many feelings going on in her heart, and that's okay.
Exactly. People have all different kinds of feelings all the time. And everybody has a right to feel whatever they want to feel. Mad, sad, happy, excited, proud, nervous.
Yeah,
we were
nervous.
both a little nervous about being here today, right?
For sure. Absolutely. But it's okay.
Exactly. But you know what? The most important part is we did it anyway. Right? Because you can feel whatever you want to feel. But the key piece here, right, is that we want to act in a way that helps us do what we want to do. So on your screen, you see an ice cream cone right now, right?
Yeah, that looks good.
It is very delicious.
Really
it is
good.
also getting to be ice cream season, so I'm very excited about that,
Yummy.
right?
Yeah.
One of the things we think about when we talk about feelings is we think about that first delicious bite of an ice cream cone, right? And when you wait like all day, when your parents say to you like, if we get to do all these things on this list, we get to go out for ice cream tonight.
Oh man.
Oh gosh.
That's exciting.
That is exciting stuff, right? And you
Love it.
probably spend all day thinking like, okay, what flavor am I gonna have? How many toppings am I gonna
Sprinkles?
get? Obviously.
Sprinkles.
I'm a chocolate sauce, like caramel sauce.
Caramel. I'm a caramel person.
Maybe some strawberries kind of go.
Ooh, that's fancy.
I like to switch it up, right?
Yeah.
Definitely the rainbow sprinkles.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay,
I'm not
cool.
a chocolate sprinkle person.
Just want to make sure we're on the same page about
Preference.
that, right?
Yeah.
So if you take that first delicious bite of an ice cream cone, when you've been waiting for it all day, nothing tastes better than that, right? Like you've been waiting for that moment. Oh my goodness, it's finally happening. The deal is this. It doesn't mean that that last bite of the ice cream cone isn't good.
Yeah.
But what it means is it's probably not as intense as that first moment.
That's true. You're right.
And that's something we want to think about when we think about our feelings, right? One of the things we want to think about is we want to think about our feelings like waves. They come and they go.
Yeah.
And anything that might feel really hard or difficult to manage or whatever word those adults use, right, to talk about things that don't feel comfortable, doesn't mean that feeling's gonna last forever.
For sure.
And that's a really important thing to remember. That book that Miss Molly read went through so many different kind of feelings.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And what we want to remember is none of those feelings lasted the entire book.
No.
So you might even be scared right now.
Yeah.
You might even be mad right now. You might be sad. You might be crying. You might be really, really angry. But that feeling isn't going to last forever.
No way. I mean, I don't really feel that nervous anymore. Now that I'm up here and we kind of started, I rode it like a wave, and here we are.
And we got to
Thank
some
you.
claps for that.
All
Thank you. I
right.
agree.
Thank you.
I agree. And just because we feel one way doesn't mean that's how we have to act.
Absolutely.
So like today, we were both feeling nervous about being here, but it doesn't mean we didn't act brave
Absolutely.
and come and talk to all of you guys.
Here we are. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I use some coping skills.
You did. What coping skills
I did use some
you
coping
use?
skills. So for me, I took some deep breaths. It's a very common coping skill. It's very helpful to help me with my nervous feelings or my anxious thoughts that I have.
I think a great question would be, what is a coping skill?
That is a good question.
Right? When I talk to kids about coping tools, right? I've heard them called that before.
Coping mechanisms.
Things you do to relax, maybe. I always talk about what does the word coping and what does the word tool mean, right?
Yeah.
So what is a tool?
It's something you use to maybe fix something or help something. I think of a hammer, right? You know,
Exactly.
If my door is broken, I'm going to use a tool to fix it or help me through it.
Beautifully said. But when you think of that hammer, is that the only tool you're going to use to build that house?
Probably not. I would probably need something else.
So if you're
Yeah.
building a doorway and you just use a hammer,
It's going to be
what
rough.
probably happens?
Might not work so great.
I don't think so
think
either.
so,
In fact,
yeah.
you'd probably have a pretty busted door, right?
It might be a little broken, yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
just a little bit.
So when we talk about different ways to kind of cope or deal or handle or manage our feelings, we talk about different coping tools. So one of the things that Miss Molly said is she really likes to take deep breaths. One of the things that I did before I came here to help me relax was I snuggled my dogs a little bit.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't have dogs. I can't do that.
That's true, but we have pet therapy.
That is true.
So maybe you could snuggle the dogs when they come
That
for
is
pet
true.
therapy.
Give them a nice little hug or give them a pet. Absolutely, for
Make
sure.
them do a little trick and maybe
Uh-huh.
watch what they're doing
Oh, yeah,
and like
that's
get
great.
excited because you're participating.
Absolutely. Give them a treat.
Absolutely. We have a whole list of coping tools and they're actually on the back of that flyer.
If anyone received that flyer, there's 50 ways to take a break. So,
1,000%. I mean, 50%, right? Because there's 50 different ways to take a break. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about all the different kinds of coping tools that you can use, but we're going to talk about one in particular that we really like.
Absolutely.
And we are going to need your help. So one of the things that can happen when we need to use coping tools is that we can have big feelings in our body.
Yeah.
And those big feelings show up to tell us, hello, we need something over here, right? It's actually kind of like our feelings are calling us on the phone, saying like, we're nervous. Excuse me, we need to do something about that.
something. I
Yeah,
need some help.
I need something.
I need some help.
Find an adult, ask for some help. We need something.
Yep.
One of the ways that we can remember that we need to use our coping tools is to slow our body down enough to be able to do that.
Yep.
And so we have a tip for you, a little idea of what we're going to do. But we're going to need your help.
Absolutely.
So if you're sitting up in your room right now and you're going, okay, we're interested, right? The first thing I want everybody to remember is you can call us.
Yes.
And what's the
wanna hear
number?
it.
Do you remember the number?
I believe it's 5 ones.
It is 5 ones.
1 1 1 1 1. That's it. 5 ones. I can do that.
And you can call us and you can talk to us live here. And anybody that calls in and gets through and participates, we're going to give you a prize from the prize wall.
Yeah.
Right?
They are some nice prizes too, by the way. Just
All
saying.
things that you might even be able to
saying.
use to do some coping, some relaxation
Now there is an idea.
while you're hanging out in your room,
That is a
trying
good
to feel
idea.
better.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I
Great
see that
idea.
the coping wall is coming up. I'm going to
yeah.
call it the coping wall. I'm not
Ooh, I
sure
like that.
we're allowed to, but I'm doing it.
We're
I'm
doing
leaning
it.
in, right?
Coping wall.
The coping wall. Okay? We're going to talk about this thing called grounding. Okay?
I've heard this before.
Did you hear it in a good way or
Yeah.
in that you're in trouble, go to your room kind
Oh
of way?
no, a good way for sure. Did you hear that? Is that a phone call?
Is that a phone call?
Oh my
We're getting a
goodness.
caller.
All right.
All right, caller. We're going to talk about 5 senses grounding. Can you tell us your name, please?
Hi, I'm William.
Hi, William.
Thank you so much for calling us today,
Yeah.
William. So we're going to talk about 5 senses grounding, and we want to start by coming up with 5 things that you can see. Can you name one thing you can see in your room right now?
Water bottles, a pillow,
Oh.
and a TV,
Ooh.
3. Can you give us 2 more?
a clock,
Oh, I hope so. One more?
and a scale.
Oh my gosh, 5 things! That was amazing, William. Thank you for calling.
Who wants to take William's lead and give us another call so that we can do 4 things that you can see? I mean, touch. Sorry, 4 things you can touch. We already did 5
4
things you can
things
see.
that you can touch.
4 things you can touch. You want me to do head, shoulders, knees, and toes?
I mean, I'm touching something right now. I'm touching a podium,
I really want to touch this phone.
touching a phone. Let's see. I've got a paper I can touch. And just like William, I have a water bottle I can touch.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my 4.
Those are your 4?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm going to say I want to touch my hair
Ooh.
really badly.
Yeah.
Right? I can touch my shirt because I've been messing with it while
Yeah.
we're standing here because I can see myself over there. I can touch this podium. And I can touch this phone.
Yeah. 4 things.
4 things.
Yeah.
Do we get a prize?
Yeah, those blankets do look kind of nice. I'm just saying. There's some really nice prizes.
Absolutely.
I know, yeah.
Don't worry, we are still taking phone calls. We want 3 things that you can hear that other people can hear too.
Ooh.
That everyone can hear part is really important because sometimes when we feel nervous, mad, sad, the voice inside our head that is usually pretty helpful can play a few tricks on us. It can make us think that we're not smart, or we're not good,
Yeah,
or
those
we're
are
not kind, or whatever other words that are important to you. And so we want to make sure everybody can hear the sound
Okay.
so that we don't get tricked by our own thoughts.
That makes a lot of sense now. Thanks for explaining.
No problem. So can
3
anybody think of 3 things that you might be able to hear right now in your room that everybody else can hear?
So coming from the Panda Center on the 12th floor, I can hear the air conditioner
Me too.
I got
that
that
I know
one.
other people can hear. I can hear somebody has the sniffles, so I can hear that.
Is it you?
And
not
then
me.
I can hear the cars outside of our windows. You guys can hear that too?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, good, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me come on.
Yes.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
That was great.
The next 2 are a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit tricky because depending on what you did that day, it might be harder to do. We're going to
Makes
do
sense.
2 things that you can smell.
Oh.
Okay? Now, this one I always recommend. If you have a lovey, if you have something you really care about that's around you, right? Like if you're upstairs right now and you're in bed and you have a lovey with you, giving that lovey a big cuddle and like a little, maybe it smells like laundry detergent.
Oh, I do love that.
Maybe it
Yeah.
smells like your house.
I really like fresh cut grass. That smell. Now that it's springtime,
Oh.
I was feeling a little down a couple days ago and I went outside and I smelled it. Someone had just cut the grass and I was like, ooh. And I started to feel a little bit better.
Yeah,
It's really good.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So there's a
sound gets
lot
me.
of things that we can smell, and smell actually can help totally change our mood, right?
Yeah.
That's the idea with all 5 of these things. Not only are they slowing your body down to kind of put yourself back into your body, but they're using your different senses in order for you to be able to better control a little bit what's going on in your body, right? Which can be really, really helpful if you're stuck in the hospital and feel like you can't control a lot of
For
things.
sure, yeah.
So that's 2 things you can smell. The last one, one thing you can taste. Now this one is a little bit easy for me in the morning because I love a good coffee,
Yeah.
because I am an old lady. And so I like to drink my little old lady morning coffee, have a nice little sip of that, and I put a little like caramel creamer in there.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
It is really good. And I am one of those people that go to bed and I'm like, oh gosh, tomorrow I get to get up and have my coffee.
Oh, man.
So like, if you're like me,
Yeah.
sometimes you can taste that coffee in your mouth after you've kind of started your day a little bit.
You know, I don't drink coffee as much, but I'm really into iced tea. And really, have you tried those Dunkin' refreshers? I'm telling everyone about them.
Here's what I will say. I did see a picture of you drinking one the other day, and it was
Pretty good.
inspirational.
It's really good.
It was like
really,
this
really
very
good.
beautiful purple color.
They're delicious.
Yeah, it looked like it had a thing that you could see.
Yep.
You could touch it, it would be cold.
Uh-huh.
You could smell it, it would smell great. And you could taste
It
it.
hit all of them.
What I like to taste actually is my favorite kind of apple is Honeycrisp. So I
Those are
love
good.
tasting Honeycrisp apples.
Such a
Those
good
are
one
good.
because when you eat it too, you can hear
It
yourself crunching
crunches
it.
and I love that sound.
That's such a good
And
one.
I like mine cold from the fridge.
Yeah.
So that's another
The
sense.
only way to eat apples, in my opinion, cold,
Cold.
in the fridge.
I agree.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
with us.
That
Thank
was
you.
great. That was a
Thank you,
good
everybody.
one.
Woo!
Thank
Give them
you.
a round of applause. So see, this isn't a hard thing to do.
No.
But one of the reasons I like it is because it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you don't get stuck
No.
trying to slow your body down forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Because there's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
Right? So
I
that's
can
one of the
remember those numbers.
Absolutely. And
do
guess
that.
what? If you don't remember which sense connects to which number, it's okay.
It's okay.
Right? You can do it whatever way works best for you. It's just kind of hard to come up with 5 things you can taste
For
unless you're eating a smorgasbord.
Yeah. Like at Thanksgiving, you might be able to do 5 things, maybe 10 things.
Or
but
if you go to
that's
one of
a
those
lot.
ice cream places where you get to try all the toppings.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe that's where it's
Some
at.
of the cookie dough.
Right? We're really hitting the ice cream
Yeah.
example pretty
well,
hard.
you
today.
brought it up, and I'm thinking about it. So
Hitting that pretty
Oh,
hard
man,
today.
Sounds really good. Yeah.
The important thing is you can use this anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? You could actually use this sitting in school if you got overwhelmed by a really hard assignment
Yeah.
to help kind of calm and slow your body back down so that you could pay attention to what was going on and try to like learn differently.
For sure. Something I always like when I'm doing my groups, when we're doing maybe some art or some games and we need to use a coping tool, it's okay to use more coping tools. You don't have to just stick to one. Sometimes I take deep breaths and go for a walk. Sometimes that helps. Sometimes I just need to use one and it's okay. Sometimes I need to use a couple. Sometimes maybe 5. It kind of just depends what kind of feeling's going on. So I always just like to make sure people know that it's okay to use more than one coping tool.
What I like about what you're saying about that too is something that I also think is really important, which is don't judge your feelings. It's okay to have feelings. Everybody has them.
We all have them.
And sometimes things are more stressful than other times. Sometimes we have a ton of feelings. Sometimes we have less feelings. Whatever we're feeling is okay. If it starts to get in the way of our actions, then we might want to think about, okay, are there some coping tools I could use to kind of go back to those things that I know really help me be the best me I can be.
For sure. Absolutely.
So that is our mindfulness moment.
Yeah.
We really, really, really appreciate all of your participation. Special shout out to William.
Yeah, William.
Woo! We really, really, really appreciate you guys. And if you need anything, we are around, right?
Yeah.
And not only do we know these tips and tricks and secrets, right? But your social workers know them.
They sure do.
Your nurses know them,
Yep.
right? Your child life specialists know
I
them.
know they know that.
If you're lucky enough to have a recreation therapist,
I
your
know them.
recreation therapists know them. So we are here to make sure that if things are hard, we can help.
We'll help. Absolutely.
Thank you guys
All right.
so much.
Thank you.